Joining me right now, CNN political commentator, the former executive director of the Congressional Black Caucus, Angela Rye. Angela, does that explanation that Cuccinelli gave to Aaron Burnett last night make it better or worse?
What it makes it is honest. What we know about this administration, and we knew from Donald Trump's treacherous history with race. We knew when he announced his campaign. We knew when he was questioning Barack Obama's citizenship and otherizing him that anyone who is other, who they cannot trace through their lineage, right, is problematic. And so it is for that reason, Kate, I can't tell you how exhausting it is to talk about racism and xenophobia in this administration, but I also cannot express the outrage, the exhaustion the people on the other side of that racism are feeling. So I will yell about it until my voice is hoarse. This is a problem. This is something that we cannot sit idly by and watch. This is something that requires the allies among us who benefit from white supremacy and who have families who have benefited from white supremacy in this country. It's time for everybody to stand hand in hand and say, this is just not right. What's so crazy to me about the poem, Emma Lazarus, last name Lazarus, so of course it brings me to the Bible. And I think about the God that I serve. We see all of this evangelical support for Donald Trump, and I'm wondering, what Bible are they reading? There are some Bibles that have Jesus' words in red print. There's nothing about Christ's words that are in alignment with the policy implementation we see from this administration. It's a problem.
We know that this issue is energizing to the Trump base,
yeah.
I think we can say really candidly that when people are angry about when he says something, or an ally of his says something like this, or there's outcry to something that he says, that's energizing to the President Trump supporters as well. Do you see it energizing the Democratic base as well? And this discussion, very importantly, I think with where you are, is far beyond politics, actually.
Right.
But what they're when anything is done in a political season, you know that there is a political point to it. And I just wonder if it doesn't energize the Democratic base as much. What do you think right now?
I don't know, Kate. Again, just going back to how I personally feel. Yeah. I'm so tired of talking about it, and even more so, just like
analyzing it almost.
Well, not even that. It's just like, how can this? It's like shock. Like you're in this constant, like, oh, it's like, how are we going down this far? And then the next thing is even worse, right? Like the fact that he said what we all know the policy is for, saying, well, this was about Europeans. We know that's what you thought.
So his point, right, is that this law's been on the books for forever, since like the 1980s. What they're doing in this administration is an expansion on the original concept. But the concept of the public charge law has been on the books for a long time.
Sure.
Is it the law, or is it the explanation of what they're trying to do with it that's so troubling?
It's the intent. And so, again, to me, as a lawyer, there are a gazillion cases out there in case law that talks about discriminatory intent as the reason. For me, I would always argue that if there's discriminatory impact, it's just as egregious. But he told you in plain, sight, plain hearing, exactly what the intent was. It was about Europeans. It's not. So they have decided that black and brown immigrants are worthless. They have decided that they don't contribute to this economy, which is not true. They have decided that they're not adding value to this economy, which is not true. All of those things are problematic, but he's been very explicit about what their intent is from the beginning.
We'll see.
And you asked a political question about energizing the base. I can't tell you enough. Like, it is demoralizing to know that in our 400th year of being in this country, this is where we are.
Yeah. Thank you for being here, though.
Thank you,
It's great to see you.
It's good to see you.